What if the reason you feel stuck is not because you lack talent, not because you lack opportunity, but because your focus has been stolen? Think about it. How many times a day do you give your attention away? To people you don't know, to problems that aren't yours, to distractions that bring you nothing but noise. Most of us live in a constant storm of demands, messages, and comparisons. And inside that storm, we forget the one thing that truly holds the key to power, ourselves. The truth is, focus is the most valuable currency you own. More valuable than time, more valuable than money. Because what you focus on determines where your time and energy flow. Yet we treat it carelessly, as if it doesn't matter. We hand it out to endless scrolling, to gossip, to other people's approval. And every time we do, we weaken ourselves. We lose strength. We give away the very weapon that could change everything. But here's the secret most people will never discover. When you turn that focus inward, when you guard it and direct it toward your own growth, your own vision, your own purpose, you become unstoppable. You create a fire that no distraction can extinguish. That is why self-focus is not just a habit, it is a weapon against the chaos of the world, a weapon against doubt, a weapon against the part of you that wants to settle for less. You've felt it before, those rare moments when you cut off the noise and locked in completely. Maybe it was when you were learning a skill, building something, working on a goal that mattered. In that moment, time disappeared. The world faded. All that existed was your effort and your vision. And when you came out of it, you felt powerful, alive, in control. That wasn't an accident. That was the power of self-focus. Imagine what your life would look like if you lived with that level of focus every single day. Most people never will. They will keep chasing, keep comparing, keep scattering their attention until their dreams dissolve into distractions. But you don't have to. You can choose to protect your focus, to turn inward, to direct your energy like a laser, and when you do, you will feel the difference instantly. You'll move faster, think clearer, and break through barriers that once felt impossible. This is not about ignoring the world. It's about refusing to be ruled by it. It's about realizing that your focus is your life force. What you give it to will grow. If you pour it into distractions, you will grow weaker. If you pour it into fear, fear will expand. But if you pour it into your growth, your discipline, your mission, then strength will expand, courage will expand, and you will rise. That is the reward waiting for you. The ability to live with clarity in a world built on chaos. The ability to feel powerful, not because life is easy, but because you are focused. The ability to move forward while others stay stuck in the same cycle of noise. And once you taste that, once you experience the power of self-focus, you will never want to give it away again. So let this be the moment you take it back, the moment you decide that your attention is too valuable to be wasted, that your energy is too precious to be scattered, because deep down you know this truth. You are not weak, you are not lost, you are not behind, you are simply unfocused. And once you bring your focus back to yourself, you will realize that everything you've been chasing has been within reach all along. Focus is not just about productivity, it's about identity. It's about becoming the kind of person who directs their energy with purpose, who builds instead of drifts, who rises instead of collapses. It is about reclaiming your life from the distractions that have stolen it. And when you do, you'll discover a strength that was always there, waiting for you to notice it. So ask yourself right now, are you willing to protect your focus like the weapon it is? Are you willing to guard it, sharpen it, and aim it at what truly matters? Because the moment you decide yes, the moment you turn inward and claim it, your entire life begins to shift. And that shift is not small, it is massive. It is the difference between being a spectator of life and being the one who shapes it. The power is already inside you. The question is whether you will choose to use it. And yet, even when we know the power of focus, most of us keep losing it. Not because we don't want it, but because we underestimate the cost of living scattered. Every distraction comes with a price. Every time you split your attention, you drain your energy. You may not feel it instantly, but over time it robs you of momentum, clarity, and strength. This is why so many people feel exhausted without ever doing meaningful work. Their energy leaks into 1,000 directions, and by the end of the day, nothing important has been built. Think about how often your mind is pulled away. A notification, a thought about someone else's life, a worry about things you cannot control. Each one seems small, harmless, just a moment, but together they add up. They steal hours, they steal progress, and more dangerously, they steal belief. When you constantly pour your attention into things that give nothing back, you slowly start to feel powerless. And that feeling of powerlessness is the greatest enemy of growth. The mind thrives on clarity. It is designed to move with strength when it has one clear target. But scatter that target into hundreds of fragments, and the mind becomes restless, anxious, confused. This is why people chase so many things yet feel like they are standing still. It is not because they are incapable. It is because their focus is broken. They are running in circles, burning energy without direction. History proves this truth. The most accomplished men and women were not necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most gifted. They were the most focused. They understood that divided energy produces divided results. They were willing to cut off distractions, even when it meant walking alone. They chose depth over noise, concentration over chaos. And because of that choice, their lives expanded while others stayed trapped in repetition. But here is where the real breakthrough lies. You cannot expect extraordinary results while living with ordinary focus. You cannot build a powerful future while spending your attention on meaningless comparison. The mind cannot create greatness if it is fed with endless distractions. Every time you compare your life to someone else's, you abandon your own path. Every time you obsess over opinions, you hand away control of your energy. Every time you let outside noise decide your mood, you weaken your ability to build the life you truly want. So ask yourself, what is the cost of your scattered energy? How many dreams have been delayed because your focus was stolen? How many goals were abandoned, not because they were impossible, but because your attention was consumed by things that did not matter? How many moments of growth slipped away because you were busy living in someone else's story instead of your own? The truth is painful, but it is also liberating, because the same way you lose focus, you can reclaim it. The same energy that gets wasted can be redirected. The same hours lost can become hours of progress. It begins with a simple decision to protect your attention as if it were the most valuable resource you own, because it is. Every hour of focus compounds. Every moment you choose to direct your energy inward strengthens the foundation of your future. When you realize the cost of scattering your attention, you also realize the reward of protecting it. Suddenly, discipline doesn't feel like sacrifice. It feels like freedom. Saying no to distractions no longer feels like loss. It feels like strength. Choosing your vision over noise no longer feels heavy. It feels like life finally moving in the right direction. And once you taste this momentum, you will crave it. You will wonder why you ever wasted your energy on things that never built you. This is why scattered energy must be confronted, not excused. It is not harmless. It is the silent thief of progress, the invisible weight that holds you down. And the moment you decide to cut it off, you feel lighter, you think clearer, you move faster. Because focus is not just about doing more, it is about becoming more. So let today be the moment you recognize the price you've been paying. Stop giving away pieces of yourself to distractions that do not deserve you. Stop scattering your strength into places that do not return value. Stop draining your life into noise that only keeps you small. Instead, choose power. Choose clarity. Choose the discipline of focus. Because every time you give your energy to what doesn't matter, you kill the future that does. But every time you pull it back, every time you direct it to your growth, you sharpen yourself into someone unstoppable. That is the cost of scattered energy, and that is also the reward of self-focus. Would you like me to continue writing the third section in this same style, deep, powerful, and seamlessly connected, so you end up with a fully polished long-form script? When you begin to understand the cost of scattered energy, you also begin to see the real meaning of turning inward. Too many people hear the word self-focus and mistake it for selfishness. They think it means ignoring others, pushing people away, or living only for yourself. But that is not the truth. Self-focus is not selfishness. It is discipline. It is mastery over the one thing you can always control, where you place your attention. The world is loud. It pulls you in every direction, demanding your reaction, your energy, your time. And if you are not intentional, you will find yourself living on autopilot, constantly responding to the noise instead of choosing your own direction. Turning inward is the act of breaking free from that trap. It is the moment you decide, I will not let the world control me. I will choose where my mind goes. When you focus on yourself, you reclaim power. You stop bleeding energy into places that do not serve you. You stop giving your life away to distractions that only drain you. And instead, you start investing it into your growth, your vision, your future. Self-focus is the foundation of progress. Because without it, you cannot build. Without it, you cannot rise. Without it, you will always be pulled back into the cycle of comparison and noise. Think about this. Every great achievement in history began with someone who chose to turn inward, someone who looked within themselves, sharpened their discipline, and built strength in silence. They were not waiting for permission. They were not waiting for applause. They were not chasing after approval. They understood that focus on their own growth was the only way to create change. That is the essence of self-focus. It is choosing to build rather than chase. But here is the challenge. Turning inward requires courage. It requires you to sit with yourself, to confront your own weaknesses, your own distractions, your own patterns. It is much easier to escape into noise, to hide behind comparison, to drown in entertainment. It takes strength to look inward and say, I need to grow. I need to discipline myself. I need to stop running from the life I was meant to build. That is why so few people truly master self-focus, because it demands honesty, and honesty is uncomfortable. Yet the discomfort is the very thing that sets you free. When you turn inward, you stop being controlled by what others think. You stop living for approval. You stop wasting energy on things outside your control. And for the first time, you begin to feel a deep sense of control over your own life. That control creates confidence. It creates peace. It creates direction. Suddenly, you are no longer tossed around by every distraction. You are grounded. You are focused. You are powerful. This is the secret most people never learn. The more you focus on yourself, the more you actually have to give to the world. Because when you are grounded, when you are disciplined, when you are clear, you become a force. You create impact not from a place of chaos, but from a place of strength. People are drawn to those who are focused, not those who are scattered. The world respects clarity, and clarity comes only from turning inward. So understand this, self-focus is not isolation. It is preparation. It is sharpening yourself into someone capable of facing the world with strength instead of weakness. It is the practice of directing your energy into growth instead of wasting it on distraction. It is the art of building a life from the inside out instead of being controlled from the outside in. Every time you sit in silence instead of reaching for your phone, you are practicing self-focus. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are sharpening it. Every time you say no to noise and yes to growth, you are strengthening it. These choices may feel small in the moment, but over time they compound into power. They transform you into someone unshakable. And this is where the weapon is forged. Because when you master the art of turning inward, the world can no longer control you. Distractions lose their grip. Doubt begins to fade. Fear becomes weaker. You begin to live with intention, with clarity, with strength. That is the real reward of self-focus, the freedom to create a life built on your terms. So guard your focus. Protect it like your most valuable possession. Direct it inward and watch how your life begins to transform. Because when your energy stops leaking into noise, it begins to build into momentum. And momentum is unstoppable. It will carry you further than you ever thought possible. The weapon is already in your hands. All you must do is choose to aim it. Would you like me to keep going with the next deep section so we continue building this script into one seamless, fully finished masterpiece? What makes this weapon even more powerful is that it is backed by the very science of the human mind. Focus is not just a mindset, it is biology. Your brain is wired to grow stronger in the directions you consistently send your attention. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. the ability of your brain to rewire itself based on repeated focus. In simple terms, what you feed your attention becomes your reality. What you practice mentally becomes what you live physically. This is why habits form. This is why skills sharpen. This is why confidence can be built from nothing. The brain is like a muscle, and attention is the training. When you scatter it, you weaken it. But when you channel it, you strengthen it into something powerful, something unshakable. That is the raw science behind focus. It is not opinion, it is proven. Every thought you return to, every discipline you repeat, every vision you lock onto is literally carving new pathways in your brain, making you stronger, sharper, faster. Think about what that means. If you spend your attention on fear, fear will grow. If you give it to doubt, doubt will grow. If you let distractions consume you, your brain will wire itself to stay distracted. But if you choose discipline, if you choose growth, if you choose clarity, your brain will rewire itself towards strength. That is the power within you. Your focus is not just shaping your day, it is shaping your mind. The mind works like a lens. A scattered lens lets light pass through in all directions. Weak, unfocused, wasted. But a focused lens takes that same light and turns it into heat, then into fire. It becomes so concentrated that it can cut through steel. That is what your mind can do when it is focused. That is why people who lock in on a single vision are unstoppable. They are not superhuman, they are simply focused humans. And here is what makes it so urgent. Your focus is always building something, whether you realize it or not. Every moment you spend scattered, you are training your mind to live in chaos. Every moment you choose distraction, you are strengthening your weakness. But every moment you direct your focus with intention, you are training yourself for greatness. The question is not whether your focus is shaping you, it always is. The question is whether it is shaping you into someone strong or someone stuck. Science also shows us something deeper. Attention is tied directly to emotion. What you focus on, you feel. When your attention is trapped by negativity, you feel powerless. When it is consumed by doubt, you feel small. But when your focus is on progress, when it is on discipline, when it is on growth, you feel alive. You feel capable. You feel powerful. This is why self-focus is not just about productivity, it is about identity. It shapes not only what you do, but who you believe you are. And when belief shifts, everything shifts, because human beings do not act according to who they think they should be. They act according to who they believe they are. If you believe you are scattered, you will live scattered. If you believe you are disciplined, you will live disciplined. And where does that belief come from? From what you focus on over and over until it becomes truth inside you. So realize this. Every time you focus on yourself with intention, you are not just building skills, you are building identity. You are building the kind of person who follows through, who grows, who refuses to break under pressure. And that identity is unshakable because it was built from within. This is why self-focus is a weapon, because it trains your mind to obey you instead of the world. It rewires you for strength instead of weakness. It turns your energy into fire instead of scattered light. It makes you capable of cutting through fear, through doubt, through distraction. It makes you dangerous to anything that tries to hold you back. So do not waste this truth. Do not keep handing away your focus as if it costs nothing. It costs everything. Guard it, direct it, discipline it. Because the science is clear, your mind will become what you focus on. And if you choose to lock in, if you choose to sharpen your focus on growth, then nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop the transformation that follows. Would you like me to continue writing the next section right away so the momentum keeps building into one seamless motivational masterpiece? And when you understand that focus shapes not only your mind but your very identity, you begin to see why it is the ultimate weapon for self-mastery. Because once you control your focus, you control your destiny. Think about how many lives are lived in quiet frustration, not because people lack talent or opportunity, but because their focus is controlled by everything outside of them. They are chained by opinions. They are weakened by distractions. They are ruled by impulses. A life without self-focus is a life lived in reaction, never in creation. But the moment you decide to claim control of your focus, everything changes. Suddenly, the distractions that once controlled you begin to lose their power. Suddenly, the opinions that used to consume you no longer matter. Suddenly, fear that used to paralyze you starts to shrink. Because when your focus is on your growth, fear cannot survive. When your attention is locked on your mission, doubt cannot dominate. This is how focus becomes both shield and sword. A shield that protects you from the endless noise of the world, and a sword that cuts through every excuse, every fear, every limitation. This is why momentum is born from focus. When you stop scattering your energy and start concentrating it inward, you feel a shift. You start finishing what you begin. You start seeing progress where before there was only hesitation. Each step fuels the next, and soon you are moving with a force that nothing can interrupt. That is the power of self-mastery. It multiplies itself. And with each moment of discipline, you sharpen the weapon even further. Understand this clearly. Focus is freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, but that is not freedom. That is slavery to impulses. True freedom is being able to direct your energy, your attention, your actions toward what truly matters. True freedom is living by design, not by default. And that kind of freedom is only possible when you master your focus. The reason this matters so deeply is because the world is designed to steal your attention. Every advertisement, every platform, every distraction has one goal: to take your focus and hold it. And if you are not aware, you will spend your life building someone else's dream while your own vision withers. That is why you must treat your focus like treasure, because the world is constantly trying to steal it. Every time you choose to protect it, you are declaring ownership of your life. And when you own your focus, you own your power. You stop chasing and you start building. You stop reacting and you start creating. You stop living small and you start rising into the life you were meant to live. This is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck. It is not luck. It is not chance. It is focus. Relentless, disciplined, self-directed focus. The weapon of self-mastery does not need to be flashy. It does not shout. It does not seek applause. It works quietly but with deadly precision. Each day you sharpen it. Each moment you refuse to give it away. You are becoming someone stronger than the world expects. And when the moment comes, when pressure rises and distractions surround you, you will not bend, because you have trained your mind to obey. You have mastered the art of controlling yourself. This is the ultimate victory. To no longer be a prisoner of fear, of doubt, of distractions. To be someone who stands unshaken because your focus is unbreakable. That strength cannot be given to you. It cannot be handed down. It must be built. And once built, it cannot be taken from you. That is why self-focus is not just a tool. It is a weapon of liberation. So hold on to this truth. When you control your focus, you are no longer controlled by the world. You rise above it. You create from within. You lead your life instead of being dragged through it. And that, more than anything else, is the foundation of greatness. Do you want me to continue with the next section so we carry this momentum into an even higher emotional and motivational peak? The weapon grows stronger with practice. Self-focus is not something you touch once and keep forever. It is something you sharpen daily, like steel against stone. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, the blade becomes sharper. Every time you redirect your energy back to what matters, the edge becomes keener. And the stronger this weapon becomes, the less the world can shake you. Building this inner fortress begins with silence. The world is built on noise, designed to pull you in 100 directions. But in silence, you regain control. In silence, you hear yourself clearly. The more comfortable you become with being alone, the more powerful your focus grows. Because solitude is where clarity is born. Solitude is where strength is trained. Solitude is where the weapon of self-focus is forged. Then comes reflection, to look inward and ask hard questions. Where is my energy going? Am I feeding distractions or am I feeding my future? Every honest answer builds awareness, and awareness is power. Without reflection, you repeat the same cycles. With reflection, you break them. You begin to see the leaks where your energy escapes, and you learn how to seal them. This is the daily discipline of self-mastery, seeing clearly where your focus is being stolen and taking it back. And then comes commitment. The decision to hold your focus like a soldier holds a weapon, never carelessly, never without purpose. This means saying no when the world tempts you to scatter. It means guarding your mornings, guarding your thoughts, guarding your environment. It means placing your vision at the center of your attention and refusing to let anything weaker pull you away. This kind of commitment may feel heavy at first, but over time it becomes freedom, because the more disciplined your focus becomes, the lighter your life feels. The fortress is not built overnight. It is built one choice at a time. Each day you choose growth. Each day you choose silence. Each day you choose discipline. You lay another stone. Slowly you create walls so strong that distractions bounce off. Doubts fade. Fear weakens. The world may still scream, but inside your fortress you remain calm, centered, and unshaken. And here lies the deepest truth. When you master this inner fortress, you become untouchable. People may criticize you, but it no longer breaks you. The world may tempt you, but it no longer controls you. Obstacles may rise, but they no longer paralyze you. Because your focus is no longer fragile, it is fortified, and that fortress gives you strength others cannot understand. This is why most people never reach their true potential. They live with no fortress, no weapon, no defense. They allow every distraction to enter, every opinion to weigh them down, every fear to weaken them. Their mind is an open door, and the world pours in endlessly. But the few who build their fortress, the few who sharpen their focus daily, become unstoppable, because nothing from the outside can penetrate what they have built within. This is the discipline that separates dreamers from achievers. Many will talk about goals, many will speak of visions, many will chase ideas, but only the focus will build them. Only the discipline will protect them. Only those who construct their inner fortress will carry them through. Because willpower fades, motivation comes and goes, but a fortified mind stands forever. So begin today. Begin with silence. Begin with reflection. Begin with commitment. And understand that every time you choose self-focus over distraction, you are not just making a choice, you are forging a weapon that will serve you in every battle, in every storm, in every season of life. The world will always be loud. It will always pull at you. It will always try to steal your attention. But when your fortress is strong, when your focus is sharpened, you will not bend. You will not break. You will not scatter. You will stand clear and powerful, unstoppable in your pursuit. The fortress you build today becomes the strength you carry tomorrow, and the more you sharpen your focus, the more the world begins to bend to your will instead of the other way around. That is the power of self-focus. That is the weapon you already hold. All that remains is to use it. Would you like me to continue with the final climactic section where everything reaches maximum intensity and leaves the listener with an unforgettable call to action? And once the fortress is built, once the weapon of focus is sharpened, you come face to face with a truth that changes everything. Self-focus is survival. In a world that thrives on distraction, in a culture designed to scatter your mind, the only way to rise is to stand guard over your own attention. Because every moment you let your focus slip, the world is ready to consume it. And if you allow that long enough, your life will not be your own. It will be shaped by forces that never had your best interest in mind. This is why the decision to take your focus back is the most important decision you will ever make. Because it is not only about goals, it is not only about success, it is about your very existence, about living a life that belongs to you and not to the endless noise trying to control you. Focus is not just the difference between productivity and procrastination. It is the difference between drifting aimlessly and rising with purpose. Every dream you hold, every vision you imagine, every breakthrough you crave, none of it can be reached without the weapon of focus. Talent alone cannot do it. Motivation alone cannot do it. Even opportunity cannot do it if your energy is scattered. It is only when you decide to direct your full attention inward, to protect it, to sharpen it, that those dreams begin to move from thought to reality. The world is full of people with potential, but potential means nothing without focus. The world is full of people who start strong but fade quickly because they never learn to control their attention. They want results, but they scatter their energy until nothing is left. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they feel empty, why they feel powerless. But the answer is simple. They lost the war for their focus. That war is being fought every day. Every distraction is an enemy. Every temptation to compare is a trap. Every moment of wasted energy is a leak in your power. And the only way to win is to fight back by turning inward, by directing your focus like a weapon, by deciding again and again, my energy belongs to me, my attention belongs to me, my life belongs to me. And when you make that decision, you will notice something powerful. The noise will not stop, but it will lose its grip on you. The distractions will not vanish, but they will no longer control you. Fear may still whisper, but it will no longer rule you, because you will have built a mind so focused, so disciplined, so fortified, that nothing outside can shake it. That is freedom. That is strength. That is survival. From this place of self-focus, you rise. You begin to live with purpose instead of reaction. You begin to build momentum instead of scattering it. You begin to shape your life instead of letting the world shape it for you. And that shift, once it happens, is permanent. Because once you experience the power of self-focus, you will never want to live without it again. So let this be the moment you decide, the moment you stop giving away your attention like it costs nothing, the moment you stop scattering your power into places that do not deserve you, the moment you stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Because the truth is clear, the difference between a wasted life and a powerful life is focus. Every time you choose self-focus, you move closer to the life you are meant to live. Every time you sharpen it, you rise above the noise. Every time you direct it with purpose, you transform potential into reality. This is the path of strength, the path of clarity, the path of greatness. Guard it, protect it, sharpen it, aim it, because the world cannot compete with a person who is fully locked in on themselves. And when you become that person, nothing, not fear, not doubt, not distraction, can stop you. Self-focus is not optional, it is survival. And once you master it, you are no longer just living, you are unstoppable. Would you like me to now craft the final closing section, the ultimate call to action that leaves the audience electrified and ready to take immediate action? So remember this, the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, not against circumstances, not even against other people. It is against the pull to give your focus away. That pull will never disappear, but neither will your power to resist it. Every day presents the same choice. Scatter your attention and weaken yourself, or sharpen it and become unstoppable. And each choice builds momentum, shaping not just your day, but your destiny. The reason most people never step into their true strength is because they underestimate the weight of small choices. They think one distraction doesn't matter, one wasted hour doesn't matter, one compromise doesn't matter. But every distraction compounds. Every compromise trains the mind to break. Every wasted hour becomes another stone stacked on the wall between where you are and where you could be. Meanwhile, every focused decision compounds as well. Every time you protect your attention, you strengthen your mind. Every time you say no to noise, you say yes to growth. Every disciplined hour is a brick laid in the foundation of greatness. Self-focus is not about one massive leap. It is about the relentless accumulation of small intentional victories. And these victories build momentum faster than you can imagine. Because discipline is contagious. Progress feeds itself. The more you focus, the easier it becomes to focus. The more you grow, the more growth becomes your default state. What once felt like effort begins to feel like identity. And when your identity shifts, your entire life shifts with it. This is why nothing is more dangerous than a person who has mastered their focus. They move differently. They think differently. They are not swayed by noise or pulled by distraction. They are grounded, clear, and unshakable. The world tries to bend them, but it cannot, because they have built themselves from within. And what is built within cannot be destroyed from the outside. That is the person you are capable of becoming. That is the power waiting for you the moment you choose to fully embrace self-focus. Do not underestimate what is at stake. This is not just about achieving goals. It is not just about building success. It is about claiming your life back from everything that wants to own it. Your focus is your freedom, your strength, your power. Lose it, and you will spend your days building someone else's dream. Guard it, and you will build your own. And the world cannot compete with a person who is fully locked into their purpose. So decide now. Decide that your attention is too valuable to waste, too powerful to scatter, too sacred to hand away. Decide that your focus belongs to you and only to you. Decide that your energy will serve your growth, your vision, your future. Because the moment you decide, the shift begins. The noise weakens, the distractions fade, and a clarity rises within you that nothing outside can break. This is the moment where self-focus transforms from an idea into action. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Because your future does not wait. Your dreams do not wait. Your potential does not wait. They are either being built right now through your focus or being destroyed right now through your distraction. And the choice is always in your hands. So sharpen your weapon, fortify your mind, direct your energy like a laser, and step into the truth. You already know deep inside you were never weak. You were never powerless. You were never behind. You were simply unfocused. And now that you have claimed your focus back, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a life lived with intention, the beginning of discipline, stronger than distraction, the beginning of you rising into the person you were meant to become, because self-focus is not just a tool. It is the weapon that will carry you through every battle, every storm, every doubt, every fear. Use it, and you will be unstoppable.